His Three Daughters is an absolute masterpiece of cinema. It's very rare nowadays to find a movie that draws you in immediately from the first frame, from the first piece of dialogue. You are immediately intrigued by what's happening. It's a simple movie with a simple story, but the way it has been executed and the amount of passion and attention to detail that Azazel Jacobs has put into this movie is nothing short of incredible. Look, guys, I'm not familiar with Azazel's work, but this has definitely put him on my radar. I didn't know what to expect going in watching this movie, and I was absolutely blown away. I was floored. It's an incredible movie. The experience is a reminder to me of why I love film so much. I didn't even really see the trailer. I just knew that Natasha and Elizabeth was going to be in this movie. So I just decided, you know what, let me just watch this. Let me see what's happening here. And wow, what a brilliant movie, guys. Not only is this the best movie that Netflix has released this year, it might be one of the year's best movies. This movie should be in the conversation when it comes to award season, guys. This is how good this movie is. This movie is, wow, guys. For me to describe this movie, for me to put this movie into words, it's very difficult. It's one of those movies where you need to watch it, You need to see it for yourself. You need to, let it grab you. And that's exactly what the movie does. Now, the plot centers around three daughters that come together in a dad's apartment. Basically, their dad is terminally ill. He doesn't have long left. So it creates that dynamic of the three sisters having to reconnect because they don't really have that good of, a relationship with each other. So they have to deal with that aspect. Then they also have to come to the realization that, our dad doesn't have he doesn't have a lot of time left. We don't have a lot of time left in this space. And the one thing that stood out for me in this movie is the fact that, we can be siblings, we can be related, but yet we are so different. We have different personalities, we have different interests. We might come from the same mother and father. Even if we don't, we are different people. And, there won't be a point where we ever just get on the same page immediately. There needs to be a little bit of friction. We need to understand each other, take each other's emotions into consideration. Normally, we create this perception in our minds of a person, and then we never get rid of that perception. We always put a person in that bracket. So once you are in that bracket, then you fall under that. And there's not even a way for me to change my mind. So sibling rivalry, it has never felt so organic. It has never felt so real in a movie that I have watched, and just watching that dynamic between the sisters play out, it's so intriguing to watch. It's almost as if you can't take your eyes off this one. This feels like a day in the life, like you are the person from the outside looking into people's lives, and maybe you're seeing something that, you shouldn't be seeing, but it's something profound, something that might add value to your life and make you look at things differently. And I feel like that is what the director was going for, and he managed to achieve that perfectly, guys. What this movie set out to do is simple. It's a simple story, but the execution sets it above a lot of other movies, and this brings me to the acting. Now, you have Carrie Coon as the big sister. You have Elizabeth Olsen, as the younger sister, Christina. And then you also have Natasha playing Rachel. Wow, guys, these these ladies absolutely deliver some of their best work. I'm not familiar with Carrie Coon. I can't remember really, but I know Natasha was in Russian Doll, and we all know Elizabeth. And just watching these ladies work on screen was absolutely brilliant, guys. The ladies, they delivered. They deliver breathtaking performances, organic, natural. All three of them, they are in an element, to see that dynamic of, Katie going up against Rachel, Christina getting caught in the middle, and the interactions that they have, it just feels real. It feels like it's something that's deeply personal, something intimate, and that is what makes this movie a must watch. The acting here is of the highest caliber. And it's hard to believe that this is acting, guys. That's how good it is, And the visual, when it comes to the visual aspect of the movie is absolutely gorgeous. It looks stunning. It's set in New York. Brilliant. And the one thing that stood out to me, majority of the movie takes place inside the apartment. The only other two shots that you have is one where Rachel is going to the bodega, and then you also have a lot of shots where she's sitting, smoking weed on the bench. So that's three places that the movie takes place, which actually coincides with the fact that there's three daughters. I didn't even see it that way, but it's actually brilliant, and it's a movie that I can easily recommend. It's a movie that you have to watch, guys. You cannot afford to sleep on this movie. If Netflix can only put out movies like this, guys, it will be so good for the streaming service. This is an incredible movie. It's an incredible experience. And I don't want to spoil anything, but I just have to mention the third act of this movie is absolutely beautiful. It's stunning. It's gut-wrenching. It's emotional. It's exactly what it needs to be, and even more, and that's why I say nowadays you don't find movies like this that just draw you in immediately, draw you in, and it just never lets you go. You can't take your eyes off the screen, and this is the power of his three daughters. A brilliant movie. When it comes to rating, guys, I'm giving this a 4.5 out of 5, guys. Easy. The movie is that good. It might be one of the best movies of the year. Certainly one of the best movies that I've seen this year. It's definitely in my top 10. It might even crack my top 5. But it's a movie that absolutely blew me away, and I can't speak highly enough of this movie. It's something that you have to watch. I need to go back. I would love to watch this movie again. I feel like there's small details and things that I might have missed, but it's been a very long time where a movie has had me hooked like this. I was like basically leaning in, I was dead intrigued. I was blown away by this movie. And at the end of the movie, when the end credits roll, I was left with a very profound experience. There's a lot of dialogues in here, monologues and stuff that will resonate with you, stuff that you might look at differently, or you'd be like, oh, this is very hard hitting, And ultimately, it's a simple movie that's about human connection, human condition, human nature, looking at what it means to be a daughter, looking at death, at, redemption, trying to find common ground with your siblings. It deals with a lot of different topics in a confined space, but it deals with it in such a profound way where it's just incredible to watch, And when it comes to these type of movies, I mean, the movie that blew me away last year was Past Lives, and it also looked at the human condition. And then you have his three daughters. Absolutely incredible, guys. Don't sleep on this movie. the definition of a brilliant independent movie. You know, if we get more movies like this, then there's no way cinema can die. You know, when people say cinema is dying, I take offense to that because movies like this still exist. You just need to get it out to a bigger audience to let everybody experience this and understand the beauty of cinema and film. And then, you know, this is a medium that can't afford to go away. And Azazel Jacobs definitely blew me away with this one, guys. And I can't wait to see what it comes up with next, guys. This is a movie that I highly recommend. You guys should watch this movie immediately. It's out right now on Netflix. Do not sleep on His Three Daughters. That's it for me, guys. Catch you on the next video.